Whose house is it?
This is the Naked Cowboy's house, and it's surreal. What do you say?
Heavy. And I feel like I'm in a movie.
The Naked Cowboy is a bit of a funny phenomenon because, like many things in life, you almost feel bad to look, but in a sick way you kind of do. It's kind of uncomfortable. There's a man standing there in his underpants. It's something I don't think anyone is completely comfortable with, and that's the beauty of it, and that's the reason why everyone gathers around. I mean, in essence, it's just a man wearing pants.
I read 2 to 3 hours of Emerson, Nietzsche. Today I'm on Emerson again. I've read every one of Emerson's essays 10 times. Everything Nietzsche's ever said, I've said in my own. Everything Christ ever walked around and said, I've lived and experienced, and fuck him, I'm bigger and better than him and everybody else.
Particularly when you first meet him and he's had a lot of coffee. He's a very, it's like interviewing a politician who's on a mission to tell you about what they want you to hear. So he went off on one of his rants, and I was sitting there with Jassim, and I knew Bob was wanting to teach us, so he wouldn't step in until it just got ridiculous.
Cool. Can you wait 1 second? There's some beeping. Battery's running out. Okay.
We'll continue with audio, but we'll have to change to
Just audio interview.
Let's say we learnt a lot of lessons of how not to do things in that first hour, but still, going back to the audio of the interview today, there was a lot of meat in that interview.
I just happen to live in his hometown.
The reality of it is you get out there and everything's done on the fly. I guess that comes with experience. Like, the more you do it, the more instinctive certain choices become. I've really had a great experience. I know I've learnt a lot. I'm not really aware of how much I've learnt until it's over, but it's just been a really great experience for me.
You can go through trial and error, which is a hard and arduous process. I think that's sort of what a lot of life is about, you know? Or you can get with a group of really talented people who know what they're doing and learn from them.
A lot of workshops, you go and you sit and it's passive acceptance of knowledge. But this experience is so much about using your hands and using your mind together, that coordination.
No, I mean, in the end, you're going to have 8 shots, but at least that means you'll have 8 different angles.
One thing that I really like about this workshop too is, as a teacher, you work in one team, 2 people, and you see how they change so radically when it's just one-on-one.
The MediaStorm producers here, Eric, Bob, and Chad, they've walked the walk. They've been in the field. They've experienced these problems. They've learned how to overcome them.
And by sharing that process, you know, we hope that others will want to tell stories like that and want to go beyond the expected and push harder.
And I hope this workshop is a part of that experience. I hope it helps to create the conversations and some of the nomenclature, some of the standards for elevating journalism.
Can you give me just a small memory, maybe some small little story that you remember from your childhood when you were growing up here?
Oh,
what did you? Yeah.
This story is about a neighborhood in Brooklyn that's going through a lot of changes. It's traditionally an Italian-American community. Once people found out that it's such a special place and that it's so close to the city, a lot of younger people started moving in there.
It's sort of how these different places are coming to see their area. All of these emotions feed into how they feel about themselves, about their community. It's all tied together.
Sal, it's Carolyn. Is it okay to come over now? I'm here on Court Street. And
We went to a small pizzeria and we interviewed Louis, whose family has owned the pizzeria and who lives upstairs.
Who's ruining the neighborhood here?
It was our foray into this, so we were trying out video, we were taking pictures, we were taking audio, we had everything going at the same time. We were scouting locations. For me, it was like, 2 years of journalism school that I went to in this one day where we were trying to do all of these different things and sort through the story idea at the same time.
Come here, they're looking for an actor. They want an actor. Thank you.
When I was learning still photography, you become nervous. You don't pause where you should be pausing. You sort of rush through things, just fumbling around with equipment. And it's the same thing with learning video and audio. Just having Chad and Eric there with me helped me to relax and remember what track I was on, not to rush through it and just to take my time. So that was very beneficial.
I think we're done with this location.
It's been just a great week. This is the story I've been thinking about for a long time, and I think it's going to be so much better now that I have these other skills. Probably if I'd done this 6 months ago, I would have done it the old way and just used photography. But now I feel like I have so many more skills that I can take and to build this story in a much broader way and just do a much better job at telling the story.
He's in incredible shape. I was going to take my shirt off too and sort of compare, but I thought it would be
intimidating.
Well, yeah, I didn't want this to turn into a comedy
contest.